Hello, Kit fans, and welcome back to Talking Kit, the football kit channel for football kit fanatics, made by three football kit fanatics. One day I will get that bang on, I swear, without having to think of every single word I'm having to say in that sentence. But yeah, we're back for another full kit rankers. We were missing last week. I was feeling a little bit ill. I have to say, I wasn't feeling up for it. But I'm back now, feeling refreshed and ready to rock and roll with another great full kit rankers. If you don't know us by now, I am Double A. And as always, I'm joined by the greatest. We are the greatest trio since Suarez, Messi, and Neymar. Do you know what? I come up with another one before, and I don't know why I've not used it. I was going to say Mane, Firmino, and Salah, or Salah, Mane, and Jota, or Salah, Mane, and now Luis Diaz. Whichever one you want to choose, whichever tickles your pickle, I guess. But yeah, obviously,
Richard Wright, David Seaman, and Stuart Taylor. They're the three best goalkeepers at one club all at the same time, I think.
Stuart Taylor, there's a throwback.
What, at Arsenal?
Yeah, I'm sure he was there, Richard Wright and Seaman, was he not?
I don't know. Maybe they were.
We'll move on.
They don't all play together though. So, but like I say, James obviously there, yes. And also GK Sean, which I think you need to be known as now. Not Sean, just GK Sean, I think. Speaking of which,
you're on Twitter now as well, aren't you, Sean?
Yeah, you've only gone and done it, haven't you?
Yeah, tweet now.
Only gone and joined the Twitter.
Got that bird app icon on my phone.
One thing that's annoyed me a little bit, if you don't mind me saying, is it, I'm glad you're on there and people seem to be, there he is. If you want to find him, he is GK Sean. A couple of things annoy me. The GK and the S on your name are all lowercase. Just a little bugbear of mine. I have to pick you up on that. Also, there's no mention of Talking Kit in your bio. What's all that about?
I'm still in the early days of creating my bio. It's in the middle of editing at the minute. I'll do it tonight.
I mean, that looks pretty established to me.
Think of all the followers I get if I put that.
Exactly. You get at least another 2, I think.
No eBay for me. Big words from Sean.
I know, yeah. Also, eBay's a lowercase e, capital B. Again, just something I'm going to...
Yeah, I'm in the early days of developing my character on Twitter. No, I'm gonna keep it, actually. I'm going to keep it.
Just to piss me off? Oh, thank you very
Perhaps
much.
that's his style now. That's the style he's going for. Perhaps catch the eye of Elon Musk with those sorts of errors.
Yeah. The standard goalkeeper glove shot as well as your profile pic. I like it.
And the Glossop Tropics in the background as well. Shout out to the Trops.
Is your season over now?
No, the new season started. I think we're in the top 3 now. We've got the top 2 maybe.
How many games have you played?
6.
Yeah, I would give it another 3 games. The season will be over.
Oh, of course.
No,
there'll be a Man United.
It's an 18-game season, so
plenty of football to be played. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, we're all wearing Nike today. Look.
Yeah. We are.
I've got stars.
I'm Son Stars. You got a star, haven't you, James?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Oh well. So what are we wearing? Obviously, I've got a T90 Valencia away. First time wearing this, actually.
This was a little gift from you, Aaron. I don't know if you want to give a breakdown on this. But
it was your Christmas present, I believe.
It was. Yeah.
Is it 2008? Even better, it's got
2008.
Fry on the back.
Can I do this?
Go on. I don't know. Went out of camera.
Work is it when I turn around?
It's got Fry on the back.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a large, James, I would have kept that. I wouldn't have give it you. That's how close I came to keeping it. But I thought I already did that. I already kept someone's present, so I better not do it again. Sean, do you want to give us a little?
Yeah, this is a gift off my better half, Lucy. She went to Budapest and got me a Ferenc Vacaros home shirt. Literally just taking the tags off 15 minutes ago, so feeling fresh, feeling new.
It's a small, yeah?
Oh, it's definitely a small, yeah.
Definitely small, yeah.
It fits.
Well packed in it, yeah.
I'm on a detox as well. I'm trying to lose a stone.
It's the wrong podcast. It's the wrong YouTube channel for that, but yeah.
You're both out drinking last night though, so that's not going to help you losing your weight.
Yeah. How
we
do you
go
feel
for
today,
1, we
Sean?
go for 2, we go for 3, and then we go for 8. I was bad. I had to walk from my car, parked at the station. A sobering walk it was.
That's how they
this
get
morning, you mean? You didn't drink dry, did you? But
no.
Yeah.
Full of Real Madrid fans last night as well. Good atmosphere in the pub, wasn't it?
it was actually, yeah. The preamble as they walked to the ground, yeah, as we were in Manchester City Centre. No, it was good. But it was one of those where you go out for 2 and you end up out
all night.
I think I counted 8. I can remember. But went to see you tell some jokes. You were quite funny, James.
Thank you. I'll take quite funny.
What a review.
Quite funny. I'll put that on my poster. It's quite funny. GK
People aren't expecting the world then, are they? If you say quite funny.
If you don't set the bar too high. You know.
I know. Jesus Christ, Sean. Big him up. That's what you're meant to be doing.
But no, yeah. Had a gig and then we stayed out. I think that's where we went wrong, Sean. We should have cut our losses.
I was off today.
I wasn't off work today, so yeah.
Well, that's your mistake. Sean played a blinder. You ruined it. Anyway, we shall move on. So that's us. That's what we've been up to. So Full Kit Rankers, if you do not know what this show is as of yet, we are on episode 14. So this is where we get a panel of guests, including ourselves. We look at 10 football shirts chosen by, could be one of us or one of our guests. This week, it has been chosen by the greatest person that we're going to bring him on in a minute. I'm not going to say anything as of yet. You probably know who he is. And so, yeah, we look at the shirts. We rank them from 1 to 10, from most favorite to least favorite. And then I score them, tally them up, and we go through the final list, counting down from 10 to 1, going along the way, speaking about what we liked and what we didn't like about each shirt. So, yeah, that is Full Kit Rankers. But if it is your first time talking kit, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We're ever so slightly creeping further and further, approaching 200 subscribers. Take a little bit longer to get there, but we are almost there. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, costs nothing at all. Just hit that subscribe button. Bell notification as well if you'd like to see other shows from us. And yeah, send us a comment if you're getting involved in the show tonight. Don't forget to let us know which shirts you are liking and not liking. Also, it's also great conversation, and it breaks up listening to these two most of the time, so that's always nice. So let's move on and let's get our guests on. You can't really call this next person a guest because he is sort of a staple of the show. He is the 4th member. Some say he's almost like the Yoko Ono to our John Lennon. It is, of course, it's the senior of the kit world. It's Josh, a.k.a. the Kitsman. Good evening, sir. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, just bear with me.
Soy Villarreal hasta que me muera.
Soy Villarreal hasta que me muera.
Soy
Guacamole.
hasta que me muera.
It's just a hasta que muera bit. I don't get.
Soy Villarreal hasta que me muera.
Oh, right, yeah. Soy Villarreal hasta que me muera. I am Villarreal until I die.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm so happy you've given us our first clip of the show. So that's getting clipped up and put on the internet tomorrow.
It's you introduced him as John Lennon and Yoko, but his Yellow Submarine should have been Ringo today.
Of course. That's why I'm not the comedian, James. That's why I'm not the comedian. Josh, how are we? Are we okay?
Yeah, doing really well, thank you. Yeah, good to see you all. Good to see you. I saw your I didn't see your comedy show, but I saw excerpts from your comedy show in terms of photographs.
Yes. Yes.
Really badly taken photographs.
Yeah, some of them aren't the best. I sort of I was quite angry at Sean as I came off set stage last night because he videoed me. And I was like, don't video me because
really
that's all I've got. I can't share my jokes online because then
I'm not a fool, you know. I'm not an idiot. This is not my first rodeo.
I thought you'd be uploading it left, right, and centre, Sean. I was like, don't do that. But yeah,
I don't post. I never post anyway at the best of times.
Okay.
What did Lucy say to you the other day when you were here? When she sees your post, she's like, "Who are you trying to impress?" You tell us. No one.
Yeah.
He
doesn't know, does he? He doesn't know.
Lucy herself.
Yeah. There you go. You've already got her. You don't have to impress him anymore. That's how it works.
Every day
Once you've got him, you don't have to impress him anymore, mate.
Yeah. Again,
advice. That's not advice.
We're not here for relationship advice either because that was really bad. Yeah, you don't need to. Once you've got them, that's it. Just give it up, really.
Oh, all right. Okay. I'll move on then. I'll move on. That's fine. Okay. So our last guest for tonight, fresh from appearing on our brand new show, Get to Know, which I'll talk about a little bit later on at the end of the show. It is the Cornish shirt collector. He changed his name. I liked Cornish, but he's changed his name tonight. It's kind of his alter ego, I'm guessing. Maybe he's going full rank mode tonight. It is Tavy, aka the Cornish shirt collector. Good evening, sir. You okay?
Hi guys, good evening. Yeah, not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Very well.
Good well,
Very well.
mate.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very well.
That's all right. Looking forward to it, to be honest. Seen a few of these, so I'm looking forward to getting in and sharing my ridiculous opinions on shirts.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're all here for, mate. That's what we're all here for. You've buttered us up nicely, saying you've watched a few, so we'll take that compliment. Thank you very much. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this week's shirt. So these 10 shirts that we've all looking at. I'll leave it up to you, Josh. You picked these shirts. It was your theme. So yeah, tell us what we are ranking tonight, please.
Yeah, so let me. I mean, I sort of like thought, let's get a host of different styles, different eras. There's nothing too retro involved here. In fact, I think they're all quite modern, really, wouldn't you say, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the
late 90s.
No, I think the earliest is like sort of 12 years ago. So they are quite. Oh no, sorry, no, late 90s. Yeah, you're right. There's that one.
Yeah.
There's that late 90s one. Yeah. Other than that, we're all pretty modern.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I know that that often gets a lot of people talking with regards to the fact that they can relate to the actual events as well. There's a couple in there which I weren't aware of. Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything, but there was one at least that I'd never seen in my life before. But it was the actual event. It was the comeback, that was so sort of notorious. So we got one in there which, might be like I've never seen that before in my life, so that'll be quite good. Got some very familiar ones. Some which will go down in sort of like cult history, I think. I'd say most of these as well would be ones which I would want to wear, not just look leery and you just have because you want to own them. But I would in fact wear all of these as opposed to just owning them. So yeah, some very sort of standout moments. It's quite fun to sort of like research this one because it was so open to any sort of like footballing comeback that you could have. But hopefully these ones are ones you remember and also made me like, oh yeah, they wore that shirt. That's cool. So yeah. I mean, I didn't score them. So you've got the scores, right?
I have, yeah. Well, I hope so. Yeah, but I mean, I would say every single game is memorable and deserves to be sort of. It's hard to pick the best 10 or the greatest 10, but I mean, some of these come pretty close in terms of memorability and sort of the lasting effects that they have on football.
I think it's the first one, Aaron, where I don't know what number one would be. Really, there's always been like a standout one, hasn't there? And I don't think that I can probably put a finger on which one it will be this time.
Luckily, I can, and I do know. So we will see. We will see what is number one pick very, very soon. And so we'll start at number 10 as always. Oh, actually, no. Let's start with something that you wanted an honourable shout out to, Josh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I put it in there. I actually put it in for you. Of course I did, because you wanted an honourable mention. So the honourable mention, which is a great shirt, and I know it's one James is going to, I imagine, is this shirt.
Yeah.
The Japan 2018 World Cup shirt. James is a fan of Japan shirts.
Oh, just so good. Just so good. They get it right on time.
They do. So give us the reason why you wanted an honourable mention for this one, Josh.
Well, it's involved in one of the matches with regards to the team that came back at them, which probably a few people will know who that is now. But this shirt was used in the 2018 World Cup. It's just delightful. I mean, the way that it also got promoted as well, it was because I think their nickname is the Samurai Blue or something along those lines. And they got like this massive sort of like blue samurai soldier. And they had, I think it was, who was it that was famous play. Kazawa was next to the samurai with that shirt, and it was just such an epic photo shoot for this particular shirt. I haven't seen polka dot stripes before done in this way. If you zoom in, you can really see that, and also there's also a finer a darker line that goes in there as well, which just adds even more. It's just that Japan badge. It's just so good. Just echoes everything that is good about the federation, and I like the fact that there's the Japan flag on top of as well. Don't really see that often, where a flag mirrors the badge. And yeah, I had to get this one. I got this, I think it was last year, and because of the sizing, you had to size 2 up because of the Asian sizing. So I've never had to do that before with an Adidas shirt, but had to with this one. But no, it's one of my favorites that I've acquired recently. It's just such a smart shirt. I mean, like James, you're a fan of Japan shirts as well. Adidas and Japan just seem to hit it off all the time. I mean, Asics before that were great, but yeah, they've had some really good outings, and this one was one I just had to mention as well because it was in the memorable moments.
Yeah, the only thing that lets it down is that terrible Adidas template name set that they had for that World Cup. That's the only thing I can pull it up on. Wasn't a big fan of that, but. Overall, do we all like it? Tava, you're a fan of this shirt?
Yeah, I think it's all right. It's just it's one of those classic Japanese designs, isn't it? Really, as Josh said, really the badge makes it, and I actually quite like the addition of the Japanese flag just above as well. It just screams something different. Actually, you don't see that on other mainly Adidas produced shirts. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, Argentina, they've just got their AFA crest. They haven't necessarily got the additional there, which I just think looks really nice, along obviously with the World Cup patches as well. Just a brilliant shirt.
Yeah. Sean, I'm guessing you would still buy a small because you refuse to buy anything else.
You know what? I was actually thinking that as Josh was saying it, I'd be like, the first time I'll ever have to get a large. But I was thinking, it'd still be too big. But good night out material, that, isn't it?
It's very good. That is very good night out material.
Yeah. Big time. What would your score be for that one, Sean? If you had to give it one,
I think Kagawa's number.
10.
Nice.
Maybe without the number on it, it would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So there we go. Our honourable mention is the Japan 2018 World Cup shirt.
Cheers,
so
man.
No, of course. Let's get on with this week's list then. So number 10, with a measly 8 points. I think I keep saying it. Maybe this is the worst score we've ever had. I think we may have had a 7 if memory serves, but 8 points overall, not doing very well. Watford 2012-2013 shirt, which is a shame because the game it was worn in is probably one of the best games overall in terms of these comebacks. So if you don't know, it was worn in the playoff semi-final of this season against Leicester City. Leicester City won the first leg 1-0. And then in the second leg down at Vicarage Road, it was 2-2 on aggregate when Leicester got a penalty, which was missed by Knockhart. And then a counter-attack by Watford led to Troy Deeney scoring an injury time winner, which took Watford to the final. So great game, Josh. Such a shame it's come dead last, even though you did put it dead last in your list. So along with James and Sean. So yeah, the game is great, but not a great shirt. Tell us why you put it last.
It's just symmetry off, the Puma badge being all the way in the top. It makes no sense. It almost looks like it's a knockoff shirt, doesn't it? Knockoff shirt. I just think that is something that immediately just sends my senses all over the shop. And also the Football Manager logo as well. I think doesn't really do much. It looks quite weak. And yeah, it's just a really sort of like, it's almost like an afterthought shirt, you know. Doesn't seem like much was put into this pre-season to sort of design it to make it look quite solid. It just looks a bit wish-washy. There's no real redeeming features about it, and I think the only reason it will be remembered maybe is because of that crazy match. Yeah, other than that, it's not great, is it all?
No. Definitely a template. I remember, I think of Cardiff when I see that shirt. Obviously, they had a blue and white. Well, that was a very Puma template for that season.
Yeah, it was very templatey, wasn't it?
Very, very much so. So 9th in my list. One shirt lower than this shirt. But yeah, James and Sean both 10th on yours. We'll kick off with you, James. Tell us what your thoughts of the Watford shirt.
Yeah, mirroring a lot of what Josh has said really with that one. It's just, there's a lack of symmetry there. The black on the sort of on the collar there, sort of over the shoulder, just doesn't look great. I appreciate there's black in the badge, but could that have been sort of different in the background to make that pop better? I don't know. The Football Manager thing for me, the sponsor, is actually a redeeming feature because I think the guy who created Football Manager is a Watford fan. So for him, it's like a big thing to be sort of sponsoring his team, so to speak. So, but even that, it does look a little bit like that's going to come off in a wash or two, doesn't it?
Oh,
It looks a little bit Sunday League / under 14s Sunday football fodder. So for that reason, that's why it was last for me.
Yeah, so spot at the moment for sponsors coming off in the wash, Sean. As you know, with your Middlesbrough shirt, you told me about the other day. It's his own fault for putting it in the dryer. You know, what an amateur.
Oh, mate.
I am my mother's son. I had no domestic skills living in that house. Chuck it in the wash, cap of bleach, it'll clean it.
Period.
Well, anyway, number 10 on your list as well. Tell us why you're not too much of a fan of this.
Do you know what? I'm comparing it to recent Watford shirts, which have been really good. We had one on the other week, with the different grades of line.
Yeah.
And the Watford red and Watford yellow together are just terrible. Not like them. Again, like the Puma badge on the shoulder just makes you feel a bit sick. And it doesn't even work well in a full kit, which is what I like to judge it on as well.
Not out rating?
1.
Oh,
very
scathing.
Bad. Very bad. Tavy, we'll finish off with you. You had it highest out of the 5 of us in 8th. Is it just the case there was worse shirts for you rather than you liked anything about it, or?
Yeah, I think to an extent, but also at the same time, for me, when I was looking at these shirts, I wasn't necessarily just thinking about the shirt as a design, if that makes sense for me. It was also the moment that it comes with, and for me, this was one of the first moments that I can really remember, apart from the Martin Tyler Aguero, where something absolutely mental happens and the whole studio of Sky Sports goes into meltdown. The whole Sky News section when we were watching just goes into meltdown. The fan camera views afterwards. I watched a new angle of it only like a couple of weeks ago of the Deeney goal. So, I'm not saying it's a great shirt by any means, but it's that moment that sort of brings it for me. And obviously the classic Football Manager sponsor. So,
yeah, absolutely fine. So there we go. The Watford 2013 shirt from their great comeback against Leicester in the playoff semi-final, coming 10th on our list this week with 8 points. Not doing so great, and even worse than that, getting a 1 out of 10 on a night out rating, which is always an embarrassment for any club and any shirt. So yeah, we will move on. So we actually have 2 in joint 8th, getting the same score on 15. The first one, I've not done it in any particular order, is this one from, I think this is the game that Josh was saying he knew nothing about, and wanted to talk about. It is the Brisbane Roar 2010-2011 home shirt. which they wore in their sort of 2011 A-League Grand Final. Josh, I think if you know the story, I'd like you to tell this one, mate. I think this is a great story. So yeah, tell us why this game was chosen.
I don't know. I don't. I think the last minute is an equaliser on it to make it 2-2.
So yeah, so how it works was in the grand final against the I think is it the Mariners.
Yeah, it's West Coast Mariners. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was 0-0 in going into extra time. And then the Mariners scored 2 in extra time. And then I think with 4 minutes left in extra time, Brisbane scored what they thought was a consolation. And then with literally the last kick of the game, they took it to penalties. And they won on penalties 4-2 with the Raw goalkeeper saving 2. So yeah, they literally pulled it out of the jaws of the Lion.
I didn't know that much detail, which is why I commend you for it. I knew it was expecting.
I was expecting some little fact nuggets from Josh there.
There will be some fact nuggets. But the nuggets are not here at the moment. That was provided by the host. Yeah, no, I heard that. I vaguely heard it because I think the goalkeepers were involved in it somehow. But yeah, A-League back then, it was very sort of like underground, wasn't it? Very sort of like not a lot of people knew about the A-League back then. It was very sort of MLS-y as what MLS is now, I'd say. Sort of a little, well, I don't know. It's getting better, but I would say a lot of people still don't know a lot about the A-League. But I know that Brisbane have had this colourway for quite some time, and it's an unusual one, and you don't really see Reebok around. In fact, I can't remember the last Reebok shirt I saw. I knew they've fallen out of love with football recently, and also UFC, because UFC had all their gear done by Reebok, didn't they? And they got dropped by them recently too. So I know I've heard rumours that they might be finding their way back into the arena, but no, this one's all right. It's just the badge as well. I mean, I think that's the A-League badge, isn't it? And mirrored along with the sort of club badge. I don't know. It's not terrible. I don't particularly like sort of like I think it would be better without the white paneling on the background. I think it would look better if it was sort of like maybe sort of bordering it as opposed to sort of like a white patched background. I think that might amplify a little bit better. Don't dislike that, the Coffee Club, actually. I think it could be sort of like reduced in size slightly. But no, it's got a bit of a goalkeeper vibe about it, I reckon, that one.
Yeah, 10th on my list just because I'm not a fan of the two colours together. Bit of an eyesore for me. 8 for you though, Josh. You put it 8th in your list. 8 for you as well, Sean. So yeah, tell us what you thought of this and your night out rating.
Oh, I won't wear it a night out. Yeah, the colours don't work for me, and it looks like a bad template, doesn't it? If it was a template, Reebok as the kit supplier on the collar just doesn't work for me. That needs to be where the A-League badge is for me. Just some negatives.
You lived in Australia for a little bit. Did you go to any A-League games?
Yeah, I went to 3 Melbourne Victory games at their Etihad. Did they play? Can't remember who it was. But Kevin Muscat was manager. Remember Kevin Muscat?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Archie Thompson was playing. He holds the record for the most international goals in one game. He scored 13 against American Samoa, when Australia beat American Samoa 36-0 in the qualifiers for the 2002 World Cup.
36-0.
And then 2 weeks later, they got beat 24-0 by somebody else.
That's not as bad, you know.
That sounds like we could give them a game, doesn't it?
Yeah. Big time. Definitely.
Okay. So yeah, standard wasn't great, but the stadium was good. It was about full.
Fair enough. So did you give her a night out? You said you won't wear it, but what's your score?
No, I won't wear it. I won't wear it.
0? None?
NA. It's a U.
NA, not applicable.
Didn't turn up for the exam.
No.
Fair enough. Tavy, 10 for you as well. Tell us why this was bottom of the pile.
So just a billboard in it. Honestly, it's just awful. I don't understand the collar. I don't understand the red trim. I don't understand the Hyundai patch, even though Chelsea have that now. I just don't. I don't get it. Why the three sponsors is almost like a triangle there, and then you add Reebok, and it's almost like a diamond of 4 sponsors. But it just, I don't know. It just looks awful, and I'm just not a fan of the the whole shirt. To be honest, I don't get it. I don't understand. And it's it's so forgettable. You could replace any of the sponsors there with anything from any Austrian league or the second Bundesliga or whatever, and it would still look the same. That for me is what makes it just forgettable. If it didn't say Hyundai A League there, I'd have no idea what team it is, no idea where they're from, and probably would care a little bit more about it because I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah, I think the away shirt was like a template of that as well. That was like white and grey.
White, yeah, something like I saw some sort of promo shots with that. Someone who maybe remembers it or would like to remember it a little bit more would be James. You had it 4th in your list, James.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you know what it is? It's the action shot for me. I think the still that you've initially brought up doesn't look fantastic, but I quite like that colour combo. There's even a comment there as well on the show just saying that isn't it a bit of a fashion faux pas? But for me, I'm not really that fussed about that colour combination. Didn't know anything about that game, didn't know anything about that fixture or even the team. But I should be mad at that kit, shouldn't I? But I quite like it. The coffee club, is that like, I don't know, a poor man's Starbucks? I don't know, but
yeah,
it shouldn't work, and it kind of does. And these are the sort of kits that I would probably want just because they're a little bit unusual. They're not your Real Madrids, Inter Milans, your bigger names. These are sort of a little more obscure ones, and for that reason, that's why I scored it 4th.
Fair enough. Yeah, shout out to Soups there with the comment. You are right, Soups. It is a fashion faux pas. Not for me, that colour combo. But James, a little bit more so. So there we go. Brisbane Roar coming joint 8th on our list with a score of 15 points overall. The next team in 8th with the same score. One of the greatest games in Premier League history for me, has to be, is this from Newcastle, 2010-2011. Won in the classic 4-4 against Arsenal when they were 4-0 down within sort of 26 minutes, I think it is.
Yeah.
Walcott scores in a minute, followed by goals from Giroud and then 2 from Van Persie.
Yep.
And then it all changes after a sending off for Arsenal. I think it was Diaby, if memory serves me correct. And then, second half, Newcastle come back, Barton penalty.
Yep.
Leon Best, is that?
Leon Best, mate. Yeah. Yes.
Bloody hell. What a name. And then another Barton penalty. And then in the 87th minute, you probably remember it, an absolute screamer from Czech TOT. May you rest in peace. Salvaging a point for, I believe, Alan Pardew's team.
Yeah, his only Newcastle goal.
Amazing.
Oh, really?
What a goal to score.
I know.
Right, so there's the game. Absolute classic game. But let's get into the kit. That's what we're here for. So 8th for me in my list. And also for you, James. So let's start with you then. 8th on your list. Tell us about the Newcastle shirt. What your thoughts are, please.
Don't like the centralization of the Puma logo. And I know, I get it. It's Newcastle. They have, the stripes, but the sponsor, when it's like that and it's blocky, it's a no-go for me. And for those 2 reasons mainly. Again, I think with the action shots, it'll look better because I don't think the shoulders would quite roll over that much, or perhaps I'm wrong with that, with the sort of the thicker black over the shoulders. But just not a fan of this one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no worries. Tavy, you had it a place lower than myself and James in 9th. So, tell us what your thoughts are on the Geordie effort.
It's just, for me, it's just too generic. If someone showed me that without the Newcastle logo and sponsor, I'd think Newcastle, Juventus immediately. there's nothing particularly outstanding about it. There's not really anything bad about it, in my opinion. I don't mind the black over the sleeves, and I don't mind the centralized Puma logo. I think it'd be nicer if it was further towards the left-hand side, obviously, so you've got that sort of symmetrical looking section across. But again, at the same time, if I'm thinking, if that's going to be a shirt that I'm going to wear or a shirt that screams iconic to me, all I can think about is one wash, and that sponsor is coming straight off. Sort of like those Juventus 2005, 2006 Turmoil type of sponsor. One wash, one wrong fold, and the whole thing's ruined because it's that sort of just plastic painted on. And the comeback is great, and that's probably why it's it's ninth on my list, because I still think of that moment yet again, if that makes sense. That Tiote screamer for me is something that I can always relate to the shirt, but I couldn't necessarily tell you that this was the shirt he did it in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Sean, you also had it 9th in your list. Great game, not so great shirt.
No, especially on a non-action shot, it doesn't look. I wouldn't buy that if it was advertised on eBay like that. I would wear it on a night out though, especially in Newcastle.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
Just to appease the Geordies, you'd wear it.
That's what they all wear anyway, isn't it? On nights out.
No, they wear nothing. That's what they're normally up to. Tops off.
True.
What would your night out rating be?
6.
6. All right, not too bad. So yeah, Josh, 6 in your list.
Yeah,
obviously you're a Newcastle fan, holds a little bit more.
Just maybe a bit biased for that reason. I remember this shirt. Wife had this shirt, and it had the worst sort of like transfery sort of vinyl on that sponsor. I mean, it marked, it creased. It was really nasty stuff. Like once you creased it, it was never ever sort of like becoming uncreased. So no, it wasn't so good. It was Puma's first effort as well. Didn't realize that. This is the first year after Adidas, and they had like Puma for like 10 years, and now they've like got Castor. So Puma, this was their first effort, and yeah, it was bad. It was a little bit sort of wish-washy, wasn't it? I don't think Puma really had a really good Newcastle shirt, to be honest with you. And this one, I think, is just remembered simply for that 4-4 and Czech Tiote going absolutely wild right there. Other than that, not many more memories of it. And Andy Carroll playing for us in that season too, sort of getting up the ranks a little bit. But yeah, apart from that, known for the actual. In fact, actually, looking at some of the away and third shirt, the Northern Rock is just the letters on there. It's only this one that's got the big bad boy sort of like background on it. All the rest looks quite tasteful, but you couldn't have really gotten away with it with a striped shirt, unfortunately. But yeah, a bit better than average, this one.
So there we go. The thoughts of the panel for the Newcastle 2010-2011 shirt worn in that very famous 4-4 against Arsenal in the Premier League, scoring 15 points. So yeah, let's move on. Number 7 in the list, the second greatest comeback in a Champions League final, if I do say so myself. It is with a total of 23 points. The Liverpool 2004-2005 home shirt worn in that famous final against AC Milan. I mean, I don't have to go too much into that game. I think everyone kind of knows what happened. 3-0 down at halftime. Everyone thinking it was over. Apparently, there was cheering and celebrations in the Milan dressing room, which kind of spurred on the Liverpool players to come back in the second half, score 3 goals, and then win it on penalties in the end. So yeah, that has come 7th in our list with 23 points. 7th for me. So I've seemed to have got it bang on. Let's kick off with you, Cornish. 4th in the list. Going off the game more than the shirt, or is it a great shirt?
I genuinely thought when I saw it, it's not that good. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I actually quite like it. I like the fact that it's just a plain red Liverpool shirt. The plain red just seems to work a little bit better for this one. Iconic sponsor, accompanied by the sort of, I quite like the symmetrical patterns of it. Really, the two white sections just under the armpits, along with the Reebok and the Liverpool logo being surrounded by a white border. For me, that works. I actually quite like how it seems to me that the logo is sort of a little bit higher than just being sort of stitched on. So it's got that sort of not dual layer, but a texture to it. It's not just a flat piece of polyester. And actually, I really like the final detailing in the middle. I actually quite like the phoenix along with it, and the positioning of it, really. So, along with obviously what I would argue, and as a Chelsea fan, I'd still argue this is probably the greatest Champions League comeback of all time.
Okay.
I'd still say that that has to count towards the shirt as well. Yeah. And so for me, it ticks a lot of boxes for where it should be.
Yeah. I mean, they had to win it in penalties, so it's not the greatest. Do you know what I mean? They had to go to extra time. But I mean, it's each to their own, mate. It's each to their own. I'm not here to argue. That's not what we do. Josh, 9th on your list. Has Cornish made some good points into trying to flip flop? Are we going to see a flip flop tonight, or
no?
Sad.
No. I stand by my sword. Do you stand by a sword? I don't know. You do. You bloody do. Yeah, I like it. I didn't really see the paneling too prominently in the image that I found, but when you're looking at it at that angle, it looks all right. It's almost like a re-release, isn't it? With the sort of like Liverpool, unless that was actually the shirt from back then. I don't know. That tag and that label at the top there, it just looks like it was probably a re-release or something. But no, I do like it. I'm a sucker for Carlsberg sponsors as well. I'm so sad we're not seeing them as much as we used to now, because they seem to be fading them away a little bit. I think it's iconic as a Liverpool sponsor. I didn't really look at the outlining of the badge and the and the brand logo actually, but now you say it, it's quite nice, isn't it? Adds a little bit of sort of like togetherness about everything. It's a good shirt, but again, I think it's one of those ones which it's just a red shirt, isn't it? There's nothing really on there. I mean, you're not really going to see those panels, I don't think, unless you can hardly see it there at all. It's very much like a rumored shirt that they're looking to be going with the next year, which is literally again just a plain red shirt. Fair enough. Simplicity sometimes, goes a long way. But again, this shirt will be just remembered for that famous night in Istanbul, I reckon.
Yeah, it is. It's also nice to see Stevie G not slipping and falling over there, which is...
I know. Barros number 5 is just disgusting.
Horrible, isn't it?
Centre forward with that number is just horrible. Wrong.
Also, I used to hate, this is really picky, but when teams didn't have a cup name set, and used to use the Premier League one, but take the Premier League handing out. I used to hate that.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I've only just realised that. Never seen it before. Yeah. That is, I'm with you. Dislike it. Although I kind of like the Barros 5. Kind of reminds me of Bulleroos number 9 at Chelsea. How shocking.
Or Steve Sidwell, number 9.
Oh, classics.
James, we'll come to you then. Number 6 for you. Just down to the memories of this game.
You know what? I think Tavy said it best, really. I sort of agree. I mean, take the sentimentality out of it. I think, we're talking about sort of how the badge as well as the Reebok logo is sort of boxed off and boxed in. I quite like it. I know that Josh mentioned it is just a plain red shirt, but I think it's understated, but it works. Like it is a Liverpool shirt. Again, agreeing with the sponsorship there. I think Tavy said it best, really. But yeah, definitely not the best comeback, in my opinion. But yeah.
He's a good lad. He's a good one. Sean, 6 for you also. Yeah, have you got any different thoughts on the shirt in general, or you kind of agree?
I wasn't a fan when I first looked at it. It is all about the day, weren't it? But I think they've done okay with just a plain red shirt with what they've got there. Was that the last year Carlsberg was a sponsor?
I don't believe so.
All right. But I think it's okay. I like the little frames and the Reebok and night out. Oh,
it's red in it.
Oh, yeah.
Quick story about this game. So I watched this. James, you know him. So a friend of mine, AT, another stand-up comedian, Liverpool fan, just for the fact that his granddad bullied him into supporting him. We watched the game. The 11 June, James. We actually watched it in there.
Yeah.
And at half, he knows nothing about football, absolutely nothing. So at halftime, I was kind of talking him through it, and I actually said Liverpool would come back or would give him a game. He said, "All right, I'm just going to go to the bar," and I heard him talking to someone. Someone must have asked him about the game. He had a Liverpool shirt on, and I heard him say word for word everything that I told him. And he come back saying, "Oh, he thinks I'm amazing. He thinks I know it." I was like, "Oh, you're an asshole." But yeah, that's a story about that game. So there we go. Number 7 on the list, 23 points. It's the Liverpool 04-05 Champions League winning shirt from the second best comeback in a Champions League final to date. Let's move on to number 6 on our list with 31 points. So quite a big jump up in terms of the score. Another great comeback. It is the Spurs away shirt. Is it our third shirt? Was it? Third, yeah. From 18-19. Obviously won in that great comeback against Ajax in the semi-final of the Champions League. Lucas Moura scoring a dramatic 96-minute winner to send them through to the very first Champions League final. Funnily enough, meeting Liverpool, which they obviously got beat to. So yeah, another great game. Probably Pochettino's greatest moment at Spurs. Yeah. Obviously never winning anything. Number 4 for me. I think it's a really nice shirt. Nike, for me, the best suppliers of kits, if I had to pick one. Let's have a look who we got next. We got James. Let's start with you because you had it 9th on your list. What you're not rating about this shirt?
I'm sure we've had this either on a previous show or on like when we do the main show.
Probably main show with Tom.
Possibly with Tom, who's a Spurs fan. Who shout out to Tom, who did the music for the show. And this does divide opinion, I think, amongst people. And I don't really get what that sort of splash is. It does. I mean, we mentioned Sean not being able to wash things. It does look like that's been put in with a bit of bleach, doesn't it? Or it's been tie-dyed or something. And yeah, no, it's not for me, this one, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. Sean, let's come to you next. You had it 5th in your list. So yeah, give us the reasonings and your night out rating if you can, please.
Let's go night out rating first. I would definitely wear it. 7.8 on a night out rating. Okay. I like the as a kit. I like the level of the pale green and the height of it. Almost like it's like uneven in it or unequal for the rest of the shirt. And there's sort of like a Walking Dead. Have you seen the Walking Dead title sequence? Like,
yeah,
it's like it's like the aged bit in the background, or that like rustiness. I like that on a kit. I've not seen that before. The cockerel on the ball, simple badge, and Nike. The sponsor looks good as well. Even though it's a bit big, sponsor looks good. I like the kit actually. I think I might have put it higher. Should have done.
There we go. Our first flip flop of the evening, and first kit we've had that's been likened to a TV show. So that's always great. Always great first to have on Full Kit Rankers. Josh, let's go to you. You had it 3rd on your list overall. So yeah, tell us why you like the Spurs shirt.
Yeah, I remember seeing it first. I think it was playing Newcastle opener on the opening day of the season, and they wore it, and I just bowled over by it. And after doing some more research into it, I realised that actually that is a map. It's a map of North London. and it's got the boroughs in which they're playing. And at first, I didn't quite realize that was it. I just thought it was like a random graphic. I just thought it was just something that was just like you say, like an oil stain or something like that. But no, it looks like it's to do with the borough that they're in, and I think you can just make out some of the actual wording in there, and also some of the borders too. No, I really like this, and also I think it's one of those occasions where, as a full ensemble, it looks nice because the way that the actual shirt sort of bleeds into that bright blue at the bottom, then goes into the shorts as well, and then you then see it with a darker sock too, which just really sort of like adds like a nice story to it. Like you can tell that was designed with a lot of love. And yeah, no, one of I think Spurs really liked that one. I remember it being sort of very well sold quite well. And yeah, will be remembered sort of quite fondly, obviously, for that night. But yeah, no, one of those ones which, you know, I think it'll be a cult classic later on. One of those ones that people will want to get our hands on. But yeah, no, really like it. Like what went into that.
Yeah. Tavy, we'll finish off with you on this one. Third as well on your list. You're echoing what the kit's been saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. I actually really love the name set font. I think it's smart. I think it's really nicely designed, and I actually quite like the little flicks at the end of the 7 and the 2. I just think it's a really smart Nike design, very similar to sort of, you know, the other. Again, still quite templatey in that when you have a look at Roma shirts from the same period and, you know, any other Nike design, it's still the same. But what they've done is increase that sort of front pattern and design with whatever's going on across the chest, and that just adds that sort of slight definition to the shirt. So even though it's still slightly templatey, it's got that extra detail which makes it. So yeah, I'm 100% with Josh on this, to be honest.
Cool. So there we go. Sixth on our list, 31 points. It's a Spurs 18-19 third shirt, obviously worn in that famous comeback against Ajax in the Champions League semi-final, which got them to their first final, which, like I say, they did lose against Liverpool. So let's move on to number 5 on our list, 34 points. We made reference to that game earlier on with our honourable shout-out, and it is the Belgian 2018 World Cup shirt from Adidas. Which, like I say, they wore in the World Cup in Russia. Sixth on my list. Let's start with Cornish. Seventh for you, mate. Yeah, tell us what your thoughts are on this Belgium shirt.
I just think the original design of, what was it, the 80s or the 90s just does it better.
Yeah.
I think they've tried too hard to try and replicate something that was already a brilliant shirt. And I don't know about you, but I don't particularly like the design. I think it's kind of forgettable. You're missing the sort of iconic 3 stripes really on the top there. The centralized badge doesn't work for me with Adidas being on the one side. It kind of looks a little bit lopsided. And yeah, I just think if you're going to reimagine such a classic design, this just doesn't do it for me. And that's about it, to be honest. Just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. I think a lot of the Adidas teams in that World Cup, obviously, they'd rehashed a lot of previous designs. I know Spain and obviously Germany famously. And I think, personally, some were a bit hit and miss. The Germany works really well. I think Spain works really well. Yeah, not overly keen on this one from Belgium. Josh, obviously, it was the game against Japan where they were 2-0 down, and a 94th minute winner from Nacer Chadli got them through to the next round where they faced Brazil, who they beat as well. So you had it. I think you had it 5th on your list, mate. So yeah, tell us what you thought about this Belgium shirt.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like a safe reimagining, isn't it? I mean,
I remember when the promotional imagery came out. A lot of people were like, "Oh wow, it's so cool." But when you look at it like this, it's literally just sort of like like a reference to it, isn't it? Could they have done more with it? Yeah, possibly. I'm not quite sure. I like the centralized badge in there. Could have been quite interesting to see that, where it should usually be. But no, it's all right. I mean, it's something that's different, but also familiar. I think that it's one of those shirts which I don't really think that it harkens out to me. I wouldn't want to own it really per se. It's not really something that I would really want to get my hands on. I can imagine Belgian fans probably wanting it just the fact that it's sort of referencing one of the most famous shirts. But no, decent idea, just not greatly executed.
Two people who might disagree is James and Sean. They had it quite up on their respective list. Let's kick off with you, James. Second for you overall. Was it the game? Would you know that game, or is it more just the shirt was really nice?
It was more the shirt, to be honest. Yeah, it's not a game that I'm sort of is in the forefront of my mind. But I just remember when it came out, and obviously it is the nod to obviously a previous shirt that they've had, and I remember it got people talking, and everyone was really keen on it. So. Yeah, I remember it coming out and it sort of catching my eye and really liking it. I appreciate they've maybe not hit the mark on a few things with it, but overall, I think it's good. Again, it looks better sort of live, if you like. Yeah, I quite like it. I think it pops more sort of when you see it there in the live shots. Almost like the 4 squares are sort of highlighting the crest there as well. But no, I like this one, and it's probably one of those that I would look to seek and have as part of the collection.
That is a good point, actually. Those positioning of the yellow there does make the badge actually come out more so, doesn't it?
Yeah, looking on that on the, like I say, the live shots, it does add a little bit of an extra element to it. Sean, finishing off with you, numero uno for you on your list. Tell us why, and tell us why you'd wear it on a night out, I guess.
I'd give it a 5 out of 10 on the night out rating, but as a kit, I like it a lot. I like I like the nod to the older kit as well. I like the tartan effect. It looks a bit like tartan. I was thinking on that first picture you showed, if the squares would have gone a bit further down to fill it out a little bit more, but the numbers work there on the actual match play. Red and yellow, it's a nice little combo. Not so much on the Watford kit earlier, but yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, so there we go. Number 5 on the list, Belgium 2018 World Cup shirt with a total of 34 points. Moving on, number 4, beating it by just 1 point with 35 is the zoom out. The Roma 17-18 home shirt, worn by the Rome club as he pulled off a sensational second leg comeback to beat Barcelona 3-0 and reach the Champions League semi-finals on away goals. Barca were the heavy favourites to progress after a 4-1 first leg win, but fell apart to Roma's brilliant showing. Defender Manolas scored the crucial third goal, heading in a near post header with 8 minutes remaining. So yeah, great shirt for me. I think, Josh, if I remember correctly, is this the shirt you picked for your cover art on your episode?
No, that was the 14-15 one. But
okay.
No, it's kind of similar. It's pretty similar, I guess, in terms of sort of like it's that apart from the collar, really, I think.
Yeah. So 7th on your list. Let's start with you. 7th for you. Yeah, tell us a bit about your thoughts on the shirt and the game, I guess.
Yeah, the game was amazing. I mean, I think it was the one where Barca had so many chances, and I think it looked like they were gonna just run away with it. And Messi just being sort of like marked out of the game, if memory serves me right. Yeah, because I think Barca were wearing that really neon blue kit, I think, if memory serves me right. We just got ripped apart. And I think he just went straight down a tunnel at the end, didn't he? He was just absolutely mortified with what had just happened. And it was just a crazy night in Rome. And I think that, it's one of those sort of occasions which, will go down in history for sure. But no, I think another reason as to why it'll go down in history, I'm pretty sure, didn't Totti retire in this shirt? I'm pretty sure it was this season that he said goodbye.
I think season before.
Was it season before? Was it? Oh yeah, it probably
so.
was.
I'm just double checking.
No, it could well be, mate. I'm sure it was either this or that, but it's okay. I prefer other sort of Roma shirts. It's unmistakably Roma with sort of like that maroon and the amber accents, but it's very plain, not really doing much. I don't think this had a sponsor, did it? Or what? Did it actually have Qatar Airways at this point? I don't suppose
No,
didn't.
No sponsor.
Plain, so I think it was the last time that will happen, didn't it? So I did like it for that reason, but it also plays in my mind that sometimes a shirt without a sponsor can look incomplete. But I think Roma get away with that.
Okay. Let's go to you, Sean. Second for you. Tell us what your thoughts are.
It's classy, isn't it? It is Roma. Again, like Josh said, it works without the sponsor, which I like. I remember watching the game as well. I think it was Dzeko playing. I like Dzeko.
Yeah.
He was. I like Dzeko a lot. I'd wear it a night out. Not quite red, so I'd give it like a 7.
7. Cool.
Look.
Yeah, 5th on my list. Love that name set. Really like those numbers. They stand out massively. Not a fan of 92, El Shaarawy, but we'll move on from that. Cornish, let's go to you next. You had it 6 on your list. Just give us your thoughts.
Yeah, for me, this shirt is, there is quite literally just a quote for me that just makes it, and it is from Peter Drury. And as he said in the game, Roma have risen from their ruins. Manolas, the Greek god in Rome. And for me, when I look at this shirt, that's exactly what I think, and I get goosebumps just thinking about Peter Drury saying that line as the ball comes into Manolas. So, is it a great shirt? Not particularly, and Roma are probably this, my second team if I was to pick one. But it's that moment for me, the shirt and the moment together, simplicity in the design, the name set I don't particularly mind. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the shirt's particularly special. That's why it's 6. But just the commentary from the game, the moment, the collapsed gentleman in the back there, Luis Suarez complaining about something. It just makes it for me.
Yeah, perfectly summed up, and that's obviously one of the reasons why we love football shirts. It doesn't have to be the best looking shirt in the world, but when it adds moments like that, the shirts just seem to hold a lot more and seem to be, held up in esteem. So we'll finish off with you, James, because it takes some beating on Cornish there, but you had it number 1 in your list. What can you add?
For me, this is just, it looks like a real throwback to like when football began almost. Like just, it's really plain, but it works. Like Josh said, sometimes without a sponsor, it can look unfinished. But this one, it just works so well. I really like it. It's almost like something you would perhaps pick up at a sports shop that's not affiliated to a club. It's just like a Nike shirt and stuff like that. But I really like it. I like the colours. I like the collar on it. And I do have a bit of a soft spot for Roma as well. I like the badge as well. That badge with the sort of it's the wolf, isn't it?
Romulus and Remus. Yeah.
Yes. So the badge as well, I really like that badge. And yeah, for me, this out of the ones, and there's a few coming up as well that are really good with probably great stories behind the shirts. But in terms of a shirt for myself, it's number 1.
So there we go. The Roma 17-18 home shirt worn in that famous comeback against Barcelona in the Champions League, scoring 35 points overall from us. coming in fourth place. So yeah, let's move on to third. Again, just by 1 point, 36 overall, is the Chelsea. I'm gonna say, is this the third shirt?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it
mate.
is third.
Yeah.
No, that's the away, I think.
Oh, the
Hang on a
away.
minute.
Oh, yeah.
Let me double check.
Chelsea third, yeah. It's away, sorry, yeah.
Away. Chelsea away shirt from the 11-12 season. Yeah, obviously, this is when Chelsea reached the Champions League final despite John Terry's sending off to seal a truly remarkable two-leg victory over Barcelona. It's probably made famous more by that commentary. I know Tavy would love it. The Gary Neville, unbelievable, which...
Is he here? Is he here?
Well, there's that. James's friend, Carl, who's another stand-up comedian, does an unbelievable impression.
He does.
Of that in his sets. It's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I remember it from that game. Obviously the Ramirez goal, and then Torres scoring that goal. So we better start off with a Chelsea fan. He may be a little bit upset that it has come only third. He did put it top of his pile. So yeah, Toby, tell us why this is the best shirt out of the ones we sent to you.
I think obviously as a Chelsea fan, this shirt will be ingrained forever in our memory of the Champions League. But I think it's actually really smart for a couple of reasons. First of all, the sort of navy blue that you get at the top is sort of synonymous with Chelsea throughout the years. It's not necessarily our primary colours, but it's definitely one of those sort of fringe fourth or fifth colours that you tend to see with Chelsea. The white and the yellow just harks straight back to that sort of 70s and 80s era. Yeah. Chelsea are renowned really from sort of the 50s onwards as playing in blue for the home kit with either white shorts or white socks, and then a yellow away strip. You know, the late 70s was actually yellow and green with the away strips. So it just harks back to that sort of era. So having the white the away as like that sort of third kit with that sort of away section with the yellow and the dark blue at the top. Again, I think it's really nice having the dark shoulders for the 3 Adidas stripes, a nice, smart, sensible collar, and I actually really like the trim on the sleeves as well. Combine that with what I would call a recipe for a great shirt. You know, 3 colours, 3 stripes, and a collar, accompanied by the moment of Ramirez or Torres, whatever you prefer. I think it just adds all in for one of the greatest shirts. Not necessarily of all time, but in terms of our comeback list, yeah, it ticks lots of boxes for me.
Yeah, I agree. Samsung was a brilliant sponsor for you as well. I don't think it looked out of place at all. I think I really
very true. Yeah. But it's like I said on the last one. It's one of those shirts that if you wash it too many times, the print will just fall off and it's all rubbish and thin and rubbish.
Well, there we go. Third on my list, only 2 shirts. I think we're better than it. 7 in the list for James and Sean. Sean, we'll just get a night out rating from you on this one.
I can see myself in Pop World wearing this. I'd say 6.5.
It's unreal.
James, 7 for you as well. Give us the reasons why.
It's nice to hear the sentiment behind it, and obviously the history behind the kit as well, which I wasn't aware of. I just don't like it. It looks a little bit like a golf shirt to me. It looks like it's going to be quite heavy, quite thick. I don't know if that's just the look of it on that picture. Mm-hmm. And it almost doesn't look like a football shirt to me.
Oh, that's nice.
The name set was great, I thought. Yeah.
But no, that's out of the 10. I mean, I say it most weeks as well, but out of the 10 as well, there was just simply better shirts there as well in terms of design, and that's why I put it where I put it. Yeah,
that's absolutely fine, mate. You're entitled to that opinion. We'll finish off with Josh. Number 1 for you as well, the same as Cornish. Tell us why you liked it so much, Josh.
Yeah, I just love it. I just love everything about it. It's well balanced. There's some unpredictable colours in there. I think that reading on Soccer Bible as well when looking at this, they said that because they usually get like the scoop on these designs, and but even they said like it was almost like added out of a blank canvas and were able to do whatever they wanted to it. I know that you mentioned. Tavy, that it's the dark blue of Chelsea. It does look sort of like black on some of the imagery, but yeah, now you say navy blue, it does have that tint to it, doesn't it? Almost like a really deep like blue ink. And they said that it wasn't really referencing anything in particular, nothing to do with their past, nothing really to do with anything that's of memory for Chelsea. It was just a shirt designed for that time, and I quite like it when a shirt is designed with no reference, because it's very easy for a designer just to figure out, oh well, they wore this back in this year, and we'll put this because it reminds you of this in Chelsea, and let's put this on here because that's very easy to design something like this and for it to have worked and be executed so well, and for that Samsung logo as well just to work so well with it, because it's the same blue I think as the actual top of it too, and the way that the font works on the back almost looks like Samsung of Chelsea have used a Samsung font for the name set on the back. I just think this is just a really classy shirt. I just think that it's been well put together, well assembled. I can't speak high enough of it. I think it's worthy of the first spot.
Yeah, some great thoughts. David, do you have it? Did you have this shirt just to?
Unfortunately, not right now. That shirt is always minimum 3 figures.
Really?
And if you want name set patches and stuff, 3 figures. Yeah, I mean you can pick the normal shirt up for sort of like 40 quid. But if you want it in good condition with, Lampard right to play on the back and the patches, you're probably talking 100 to 130 quid.
Okay.
That's exactly the same for the home kit of the same year. If you want the patches and everything, the sort of minimum you're looking at is about 90 quid.
Right.
So I mean, I've got the home with Drogba on the back for the final, but I'm hunting that for either Lampard, Torres, or Ramirez.
Nice. So there we go. Number 3rd on the list, 36 points overall, is the Chelsea 11-12 third shirt, which obviously got them to the Champions League final, coming back against Barcelona. Let's move on to number 2 in the list. Again, just by 1 point overall with 37. Speaking of Barcelona, they were on the end of a comeback earlier, or 2. They've been on the end of 2 in this list, so it's only right that they get to come back and go through. It is the Barcelona 16.
What a fix! What is going on here?
17 home shirt, which they obviously came back famously against PSG, 6-1 in the second leg, overthrowing a 4-goal deficit from the first leg, scoring the winner in the 95th minute, Sergio Roberto, following 2 goals from Neymar sort of late on as well. That has come second with 37 points. Second in the list for me. I think the last episode we spoke about the Man City 16-17 template shirt from Nike, obviously, and the England one. I think this template only works with Barcelona. Actually do own it. Sponsorless as well. Just because of the fact, obviously, the dark blue at the top. I do like it without the Qatar Airways, I have to say. Second on the list for me. Let's start with... Who should we start with? Let's go with Sean, shall we? 4 for you, Sean. Tell us what you liked about this one.
It's a Barcelona shirt, isn't it? I prefer. I put the Spurs shirt 5th, but I actually prefer the Spurs shirt to this.
Okay.
So I want to swap those places from 5th to 4th, if you don't mind.
No, you can't. It's too late now. All done. Votes are closed.
Okay. It's just a Barcelona shirt. I like Barcelona shirts. Nothing else to say.
Fair. Night out rating?
8.
8.
Give that an 8.
Okay. That's all good. TV, you had this 5th overall on your list. Is it more the game than the shirt? Was you a fan of this template?
Yeah, I mean, I love the shirt, but I think there's more iconic moments, I suppose. When it comes to this shirt, I think it's a great shirt. I immediately think when I see this shirt, not necessarily of the comeback, but of Messi standing there in the Bernabeu, holding it up with that iconic photo. For me, that's probably the most iconic photo of all time in football. So for me, that's what I think of, not necessarily the comeback. So that's probably why it's a little bit lower for me personally. But again, I think it's a great design. Qatar Airways works. I actually quite like the sort of two-tone blue on the shoulders and the main stripes. I quite like the red and the yellow all working together. It's a classy shirt. It's distinctly Barcelona, but do I associate it with the comeback? Probably not.
No. Fair. That's fair enough, mate. Josh, you said what a fix, but you did have this second in your list. So you've got it spot on, mate.
Yeah, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what's going on, mate. I just like to sort of pop words in there whenever I can, just of course.
Tell us the reason. Is it because you're supporting Villarreal tonight? It's another Spanish club.
That's exactly the reason why. It's exactly the reason why. No, it's not. I always had a feeling that it was referencing something, and you've heard of the Spanish brand Maber that have sort of like come back again recently. Barcelona brand. Well, they made their shirts around about the Cruyff era of Barcelona, and they had a shirt which had the same sort of faint sort of stripes on there, which I think is what it is referencing actually. So what is just a template shirt for Nike that season has been obviously modified for them because they are an elite team. No, I like it a lot. I really do. I think that I do remember it for that night in Barcelona against PSG. I wasn't aware that it was the shirt that Messi was showing up. Didn't know that. Thought that was something different. So again, that's another reason why people might remember it. But no, solid Barcelona shirt before they got a little bit silly with things. I think that this was one which I got actually, but it's not got the Qatar Airways sponsor. I think it looks better with the sponsor actually on this one. Also, is the badge and the swoosh quite close together there because of the stripes? Just saying.
Yeah, it looks like they put it closer so they're both in the sort of red stripes, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's a good spot. James, should we finish with you then? 5th for you?
I guess so, yeah. I feel like I've seen better Barcelona kits. I do actually remember this fixture and Roberto sort of sliding. He was almost like sliding in, wasn't he, as he finished it to get the goal. Yeah. And it was a real last throw of the dice off a set piece. But yeah, I feel like there's better Barcelona kits, to be honest, which is why it's sort of middle of the road for me. I do like a Barca kit. I do like the colour theme that they tend to have. But for me, it's not a classic Barca shirt for me personally.
No problem. We were living together at this time, weren't we? I think this is what I do. I don't, do we even watch it together? I don't know. Who knows?
I'm sure.
But yeah. Who knows? So there we go. Number 2 on the list, the 16-17 Barcelona home shirt. Scoring 37, which they won in that great comeback against PSG. Or if you are TV, the shirt that Messi wore when he absolutely just destroyed the Bernabeu. So yeah, there it is, number 2 on the list. So number 1, there's only one shirt remaining. I wonder what shirt that could be in terms of classic comebacks. Scoring. He actually scored 42 points overall, so not a bad score out of 50. It can only be one, couldn't it? It can only be one. It is the Manchester United 98-99 European shirt, which they famously wore in the 2-1 win over Barcelona in the Nou Camp of all places against Bayern Munich. I mean, I had to put it number 1 just because of the memory. I mean, obviously, I'm a United fan, so it's obviously going to mean more to me than most people on the panel. I remember getting manhandled by. I was 15 years old. Getting manhandled in the 11 room in a pub, watching it with my mum. jumping after the first goal, not realising the second goal had gone in, and a 50-year-old man just absolutely hugging the life out of me. It's one of the greatest moments of my life as a Manchester United fan, most definitely. And the shirt is nice. It's the pattern in there is really, really nice. I like the badge, the Umbro, the Sharp, classic sponsor. Even the collar is great as well. So yeah, I had to put it number one. Let's start with Sean. You would have been a United fan around this time. You had it third. Tell us why.
I actually love the game as well. Not being a United fan, but a supporter of English clubs, I actually celebrated the goals like a United fan. I hate to say that. I'm sure everyone knows Aaron used to bully me into being a United fan.
It's not true.
Used to tell my mum to buy all the kits.
That's not true.
She did.
Fund it all.
Bearing in mind, he's GK Sean based off Peter Schmeichel as well. So let's just not have any of that.
Exactly.
The retro collar, I think, needs to come back. I like it.
They've got one next season, if you believe the leaks.
Yeah,
sort of Aztec pattern, so that should be back next season.
I like
nice
you have an option to fold it up as well. Like
night out rating.
4. Won't wear on a night out, I'm afraid.
Ruined it.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Josh, 4th for you overall. Tell us your thoughts.
Just a slight observation. Have you ever like a mat for your toilet? Like one which you put on either top of a lid or you have underneath the actual bit. The actual shape of the shirt itself looks like some sort of toilet mat. I know what I'm talking about. If I had
the contours under the arms, like it'd go around a toilet.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, I maybe it's only something that we have over here. I don't know because I'm not getting much help from the audience.
This is like your dog face comment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but that gradually, we got a lot of.
Everyone was on that.
Yeah. No, it's good. I think it's going to be something that only a Man United fan will love. Though, I mean, I personally can't sort of say I love it. It's good. Just looks a little bit off, I think. And I'm not saying it just to be purposefully, antagonistic. I just think that it just looks a little bit strange. And I mean, like the badge, like the shield, it just seems a little bit stretched, a little bit not in proportion. I like it. I appreciate it, but I don't love that one. I'm afraid. Sorry to say. I do apologise.
No need to apologise, mate. You're allowed an opinion. That's absolutely fine. Tavy, we'll come to you next. Second for you in the list. Do you think? I always think European shirts were great, and I'd love to see them come back. Were you a fan of them?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for me, whenever someone says European shirt, it's always that Inter Milan sort of thinking, or that sort of pink Juve of the 97, 98 season. So, I'm a big fan of European shirts. I actually quite like this design. I quite like the sort of Champions League balls sublimated on this 2-star design. I quite like the badge. I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of the silver. I think not necessarily black, but maybe a white or something, just to make it stand out a little bit more. It's quite hard to see the detailing on it on a stock photo like this, let alone in real life. But yeah, I think you just have to think about the moment, haven't you? Solskjaer in that 100 and whatever minute it was, and that for me really is what makes the shirt more than it being a great design. I actually agree with a lot of the points that Josh said about the proportionality of it and the toilet seat comment. I think it's right. I think it's 100% right. But that moment, that iconic man doing that, I think it makes the shirt more than the shirt being magnificent itself.
Is that one of like the only shirts that have actually ever sort of used the competition that they're in as part of a design?
That's a good
That's a good
question.
point, actually.
I'd expect so.
Yeah.
It's
Can't
quite
think of
brazen,
another.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. We were the best team in the world at the time, so you know.
Yeah. That's
not-
not
It's not that brazen. We'll finish off with you, James. Only third in your list. Obviously, you had Belgium and Roma higher. Yeah, tell us why you had it third and
Well,
your overall thoughts on obviously the shirt.
I have the shirt.
Yes.
And I am a big fan of it. Ollie on the back as well. I am a big fan of it. It's got you've got the classic sharp, which, mentioned about Liverpool before and Carlsberg and so on. And I just think that I need to figure out my camera work. I just think it works really well. I do agree, actually, the sort of silver on the badge, even close up,
Tell you what, though, through the camera, it looks brilliant.
You do sort of struggle to see it, but if you watch, and I've watched that game numerous times, it does get that sort of reflection on there, but it is a little bit difficult to sort of read and make through. It's got the original badge, which I know that Aaron, you're a fan of, where it actually says Manchester United Football Club rather than actually just saying Manchester United, which it does now on the crest. Big chunky Umbro. It's for me, it's a great kit. I didn't put it number one because in terms of style, I probably did prefer the Roma one. It's a little bit more modern as well. But no, for me, it's a great kit.
Did you get it at the time?
No. This is purchased for me quite recently, actually. I think it was a gift for me maybe a year or so ago. But
nice.
No, it's not one I had at the time, and it's great. It holds a lot of memories. But like I say, didn't put it first or second, just purely based on probably his better designs. But I think it's maybe got up there today, and people will probably want a steward's inquiry. But I think it's gone up there purely because it is one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
The greatest comeback of all time. And there we go. Number one on our list of some of the greatest ever comebacks in football is the Manchester United 98 to 99. Well, I say 98 to 99, but he actually wore it for a few seasons before and after this season. But it is taken from 98-99, where Manchester United completed that fantastic treble in Barcelona, 2-1 win over Bayern Munich. 42 points overall out of 50. As always, I'll show my working out, so you know I'm not cheating. Everyone scores, as you can see, with the totals there as well. Oh, there's the next slide. So moving on, that is the end of the show. I just wanted to have a quick plug of Talking Kit Get to Know, our brand new show that started Sunday just gone. It's once a month, and we sit down with some great people from the kit community, and we just ask them some questions and get to know why they fell in love with football shirts, collecting and or selling. Tavy was on the very first episode, and he was absolutely brilliant, really insightful and knowledgeable, and made me think I'm just an amateur in this game compared to some of the professionals that are knocking about. And he obviously liked us because he wanted to come back on and do full kit rankers. So just give us a little bit of a thought of what you thought of the show on Sunday, Tavy, overall.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I think it's a great idea. It's as I said, you don't really get opportunities to do these types of things very often, and you don't really get everyone through Twitter or whatever is just a piece of text on a screen. So it's nice to be able to sit down and actually have a good conversation about shirts or life or whatever it might be. And it sort of brings people together almost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I've had multiple messages since, from people just saying that they really like the show and that they liked the format of it and things like that. So that for me is what really made it. And I'd encourage anyone to reach out to Double A, get on it really.
I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, it seems to have gone down well, especially with people in the community and stuff like that. Is it in collaboration with Northern Ireland Classic Shirt Co. And we have got the next one coming up on the 29th of May. Guests will be obviously announced a bit sooner to the time. But yeah, go check it out. If you've watched tonight, go and check it out. It's a bit of a long one, but we seem to like our long shows. We like to talk and get as much information out there as possible. So it was obviously with Tavy, Cornish shirt collector, and obviously El Clasico kits as well, Tom. And like I say, some great conversation in that episode. So yeah, that is it from us for another episode of Full Kit Rankers. We will be back very, very soon next week with another episode. We've also got something dropping on Monday as well. It's finally coming, a little video of us opening some mystery shirt boxes. It was entertaining, and I think we was all pleasantly surprised and happy with what we got. So yeah, I'll just say bye to our guest, Tavy. Thanks again for coming on, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you've enjoyed ranking with us. Yeah, you're welcome anytime, mate. Absolutely anytime you fancy what you're coming on, just let us know.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. It's always good fun, and you know, it's nice to be able to look at different kits. You know, the Brisbane one I'd never seen before. Yeah. Don't want to see it again, but you know.
Fair enough. And if people want to follow you, where can they find you?
Usual place, Twitter. I'm quite active on there when I'm not at work. So usually the weekends these days, unless it's half term.
Yeah, and is it at Cornish shirt, I believe, yeah?
Yeah, I believe it's just at Cornish shirt, or if you type in Cornish shirt collector, I'm sure I'll appear.
Brilliant. Josh, as always, thank you for gracing us with the High Sultan's presence. And we'll see you next week, I hope.
Absolutely, man. No, thanks for having us on again.
No, mate, it's your show more than mine. So don't worry about it.
It's an absolute lie. It's all right.
But Sean, as always, thanks for chiming in with the night out ratings, and I'll no doubt speak to you soon, mate. Anything you want to say?
Follow me on Twitter. What's my Twitter handle? GK Sean.
I'll be getting better. It's getting better.
I've got a charity find which I'm gonna drop soon this week, and I'm gonna show everyone what I got.
Look out for that. And yeah, make sure you follow him at GK Sean. He is going to put that he's part of TK in his bio as well, so look forward to that. And yeah, thanks as always. James, pleasure. Anything you want to be saying?
I can plug myself a little bit, can't I? At Counterfeit Crookie on most of the socials. I would say La Fienda, Deansgate, Manchester on Thursday, but it's sold out. We've sold out again. I'm emceeing, and but we're there every Thursday. Please pop along if you want to see me. But no, Talking Kit is the main one, really. And just, get involved with it. Like I say to people all the time, the more you put in, the more you'll get out. Interact with us. We're really geeky and nerdy about these things. So, yeah, at Talking Kit on everything. And any ideas for shows, and we're well up for it.
Definitely. Echo with that. If you want to get involved in any of our shows, get to know. Let us know if you're a collector or a seller and you want to come and talk with us. If you want to come on Full Kit Rankers, we're happy to have anyone on here. Any shirts you think we should be ranking, just get out, message us or tweet us, hashtag Full Kit Rankers, and we will get straight on it. If it is your first time talking kit, don't forget, do subscribe, do like the video, share with your friends, or drop us a comment or anything like that. We'll be back soon. All that's left to say is please do make sure that you keep talking kit, and we'll see you soon.